one of the world's most exciting train rides to hurtling downhill without brakes, to moose tracking in the forests of Canada.
This week, we revisit some of our wildest adventures. Hello and welcome to The Travel Show with me, Carmen Roberts, coming to you this week from my local park here in Tokyo. We've not been travelling these past few months, which has been an odd change of pace for all of us here on the programme. But over the past few years, we've been to hundreds of incredible places and faced many unusual and occasionally uncomfortable situations.
I faced my fear of heights jumping off the Sky Tower in New Zealand, ignored basic safety advice and danced with scissors in Peru, and played real-life Mario Kart down some of the busiest roads in Tokyo.
But it's not just me though. All of us travel show regulars have had some pretty wild adventures. And this week, we're looking back at some of our favourites.
First up, in 2018, we went to Jordan to mark 100 years since the culmination of the Arab Revolt, the legendary campaign against the Ottoman Empire, which was famously led, it's claimed, by Lawrence of Arabia. We sent Rajan to Jordan to experience a battle reenactment along one of the key Ottoman supply lines.
This is a reconstruction of one of the original trains on the Hejaz Railway. And it used to carry pilgrims and supplies to the Ottoman troops. And I'm going to take a trip now through this stunning landscape. Oof. It's baking hot out there. Hope it's cool inside. This is a glorious feeling. Huge, vast, arid desert around me. These big granite mountains on either side. Just how you imagined it. Whoa! Oh my God, it's horses. I'll go low. Whoa, that's a bomb. I think you'll find that's a bomb. Oh, what the hell? That is loud. So, what I'm guessing is that this train has been hijacked and that a bomb has been exploded on the line. And we cannot move. We have been well and truly hijacked. I tell you what, for a reenactment, it's pretty realistic. I'm actually scared, even though I know they're blanks. Hey, yeah, I'm coming. What the hell? Hey! I'm going. Okay, I'm going, okay! You can't just leave me here. I'm being abducted. Okay. Hands are up, man, hands up.
The constant attacks on the Ottomans' railway supply lines worked. The war ended and several new nations, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon and Jordan, were then formed. The origins of the Middle East that we know today can be traced back to these attacks on the Hejaz Railway and the subsequent carving up of the region by the Brits and French.
Well, that was Rajan there, under bombardment in the blazing heat of the Jordanian desert. Well, it's a bit of a temperature change now, and we head to the chilly Austrian Alps, where Ben braved minus 30 degrees centigrade and a gathering storm for a spot of snow camping. And let's just say, it didn't all go to plan.
We have put up all of the tents now. When I say we, I mean mostly these guys. But it's going very well. It's a lot warmer than I thought. So, after some hard work, our camp is set. And, I'll be honest, a hot drink has never been more satisfying. As the sun fell behind the mountains, little did we know that this would be our last chance to take in this amazing environment. It was most definitely the calm before the storm. Although it's absolutely freezing and getting colder by the second, it really is unbelievable, and I've never seen anything like it in my life. And it's all ours for tonight. We melt snow over camp stoves to make our dinners of rehydrated chicken noodles. All right, let's eat some astronaut food. Oh. But then, the dramatically worsening weather was taking its toll. Somewhere along the way I took a wrong turn. Now I'm in the deepest snow. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, it's so deep. That was difficult. Okay. There's my house for the night. Oh, it's so cold. The ground feels like a freezer. Okay, it's currently 2 a.m. and I really have not slept at all. I think we're right in the middle of the storm and the winds are so strong. But the worst was yet to come. We woke up early to a blizzard of snow. With the wind hitting me this hard, I'm shocked at how drastically this amazing place can change over just a few hours. But then, it was all hands on deck to pack down our tents. With visibility restricted to just a few meters in places, it was important we stick together. Our path was never too far from a sheer drop down the mountain. But getting down was going to be much harder than getting up. The storm had meant the whole mountain had been shut down for safety reasons, and we would essentially need to be evacuated. So, snow plows to the rescue. It's not really the morning I was hoping for, because you can't really see anything because it's such a blizzard. But overall it was a great experience, something that you don't do every day. But now it's time to get warm.
Next, we head to the state of Hidalgo in central Mexico, where Mike endured one eco-park's notorious night walk, where tourists can experience a brutal recreation of an illegal border crossing into the United States. This reconstruction has been designed by locals to try and persuade migrants not to attempt the sometimes perilous journey, which claimed 300 lives last year.
Le voy a dar un minuto para que agarren agua.
We're told to meet inside the main gate.
This is the real deal.
And even though these guys are playing a part, they really mean business.
Isidro, Gabriel Guerrero.
So the guy yelling at the top of his lungs is our coyote. It's what you call somebody who brings you across the border. He is taking his character extremely seriously.
¿Sí me entienden? ¿Sí o no, chinga? Sí. ¿Qué, no pueden hablar?
So firstly, we're all jumping in the back of a pickup truck. I have no idea where we're going. He's not giving us any tips, any pointers. And we're going to all cross, or attempt to cross, the border they've created for us tonight. I have to watch my step. Hold on. There's gunshots, there's sirens. This bridge is totally not stable.
and there's people crawling on the ground. I don't even know what's going on, but the group is slowly. I went right through. You okay?
Yeah. Unsure footing I can kind of deal with.
¿Qué hacen aquí? ¿Con quién vienen?
But things get much scarier when you're forced to the ground by these very authentic looking armed bandits.
¿Con quién vienes?
Solo. Vengo solo. Es agua y en cámara.
Normally, you'd welcome the arrival of the police with open arms, but our coyote tells us to run.
We're running. We have to go. We have to go.
Hay mucha gente que cruza por acá nuestro país en México, que hoy le decimos por medio de esto que no vayan. Lo hemos visto desde el 2011 que se inició esto. Antes había muchos niños, muchos jóvenes, muchos adultos que se iban para Estados Unidos. Poco a poquito nos dimos cuenta que los jóvenes hoy en día están en las universidades, están en la preparatoria, estudiando por medio de crear esto, hacer conciencia, como lo vuelvo a decir.
And the whole point of this park is to show people the hardships and the work that goes into border crossing. And tonight's been a perfect example of that so far. This is the moment. This is the moment we get to hopefully cross the border. Our coyote is stressing out. Wait for the next truck. As soon as it comes, we're jumping in the back. They're coming! Sirens off in the distance.
Here at the Eco Parque, they're hoping this experience will end up saving many lives. It's certainly given many of the guests here tonight pause for thought.
Well, stay with us, because coming up,
Henry dodges obstacles on a downhill kart race in the Philippines. And I hang from a waterfall in Peru.
so don't go away. Right, we're crossing continents now and heading to Canada in search of one of its most famous residents. And even though it's big and noisy, the Canadian moose is surprisingly elusive. But luckily, Krista had the help of one of the country's top trackers.
You must be Pierre.
Yes, I am.
Lovely to meet you. What an amazing song. You really sounded like a wolf.
Thanks.
I'm thoroughly impressed. Although the wolves don't carry guitars usually, I guess.
My friend called me Peter the Wolf. Moose tracks, yes. And I don't know if you see.
Pierre takes tourists around the Forêt Montmorency, the world's biggest research forest. As ever, sunrise and sunset are the best times for spotting. In fact, he reckons I'll have an 80% chance.
This is a mark that a big male with the big antlers just made. On the moose safari, we are trying to find the moose. We are trying to approach them with all the ancestral technique, with the wind and the noise. And we are also doing moose, different call to attract them. Sometimes we are very lucky.
So with the moose calls that you made, could you explain the noises? Oh. What do they say? Oh.
Oh. You're good. The female noise look like this. Oh. 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 And the male, a short but deep kind of rot that look like. It's very deep because moose are big. They are the biggest member of the deer family.
Pierre takes me off deep into the woods, chasing the very faint calls he can hear in the distance. He's not above smearing himself in a moose bath, which is basically a collection of unpleasant substances the animal has left behind. The going is heavy. I have a tough time in the boggy ground. But after a couple of hours with 2 soaking wet feet and daylight disappearing, we admit defeat, get back in the car and head for home. When suddenly...
I see it. Oh my goodness. Huge antlers on that one. Tell you what, the boys are out tonight. Look at that.
There they were, distant, but definitely there.
Incredible.
And off Pierre went, chasing the moose into the sunset.
Krista there, enjoying the sights, sounds and smells of the Canadian wilderness. Next up, we're off to the Philippines and the island of Negros, made famous by a local sport that's attracted thousands of thrill seekers from all over the world, including our very own Henry Golding. We do not recommend you try this at home.
Insane.
That's Ligeron. I saw him fly about 30 feet on something that's pretty much
That's
made out
one
of
of the
wood.
unique thing of Ligeron.
It might look like just a few bits of bamboo strung together with wheels, and that's pretty much what it is. But add a hill and a few obstacles, you've got a sport that will definitely get the adrenaline running. It all started when local environmentalist Nikki decided to ramp up a children's game and turn it into a heart-stopping adventure sport.
This would be described as an extreme sport.
Yeah.
Somewhat
More of
like
an
extreme.
insane sport, Nikki. I think there's something wrong with you and your friends.
That's Ligeron. That's how they enjoy riding the Ligeron.
He's still alive?
Yeah. We will pass that this way.
Okay, straight down there.
Down with the violet color.
So missing about 15 trees on the way down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's important.
Okay, go.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Gaining speed. Gaining speed. Oh, it's very fast. Yeah. Now they make it look very easy, but it's far from it. You've got to be careful of where you're heading because these tracks aren't straight lines and your speed just picks up a crazy amount, so you need to plant your feet down to slow you down. And watch out for those trees. Oh, close call.
After a few attempts, I start to get the hang of things.
Riding in a crew on my Ligeron.
But as for the big jumps, well, I think I'll leave that to the professionals.
Hey, good job, yay! Woohoo!
And finally this week, one of my all-time favorite experiences here on the Travel Show. Back in 2016, I traveled to the Andes in northern Peru, to the home of the Yambila Falls, one of the largest waterfalls in the world. And I was incredibly lucky to be one of the first people to try and abseil down it.
Your legs, Carmen, 90 degrees better. holding but lean backwards.
Taking off is terrifying. It's hard to stay up with the constant pressure of the water pushing me backwards. And I'm told this is the easy part.
Okay.
We reach the tiny ledge overlooking the last 70 meters and prepare for our descent.
What is good? Oh my God, it's amazing! Okay, here we go. Waterfall so close. This is amazing.
So far, so good. But halfway down, I'm in for a shock.
It's slightly unnerving that we're going to lose the rock now. We're going to go into free fall. Okay, I can do this. Yeah, this is good.
Without the rock face, I'm literally hanging.
It's hard work on my hand. Basically, this rope is holding my body weight and I'm having to release the rope to get me down.
This way of coming down is faster and scarier than before, but a lot more exciting. We reached the last part of the descent, and I'm so relieved to finally get to the bottom.
I know it's crazy. I didn't expect quite so much water. Oh, that was amazing. What a rush.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, that's it for this week, and I'll look back at some of our wildest adventures here on the Travel Show. And hopefully we'll be on the road pushing our limits again very soon. But in the meantime, you can keep up with us on social media, where we'll give you some inspiration for your future travel plans. Just search BBC Travel Show on all the main platforms and you'll find us there. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team at home all around the world, it's goodbye.